Morning. Thank you all for being here. Jared, thank you for stealing half of my speech. I appreciate you. To Tracy, Caden, Sherry, Dennis, our sincerest condolences from myself and the rest of the family at Nassau Bay Police Department. We thank you for sharing Kaila with us and allowing her to be part of our lives. To the Nassau Bay community, everyone else, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your outpouring of support that you have shown our officers, our city, and Sergeant Sullivan's family. I can't begin to tell you the amazing help that it's been in lifting us up. Sergeant Kaila Sullivan, I don't know where to start. She was larger than life. She was an amazing person, a friend, a wonderful mother to her son Caden. She was an entertainer, apparently found this out late in life, an accomplished officer. While we were preparing for this service, the production team here at the church asked if we wanted these Christmas trees behind us to be lit or unlit. So I called Tracy, her wife, and I said, "What would you like?" And Tracy's comment to me was, "Lighted, of course, because Kaila was the light of the world." And I absolutely agree with you. She was a dedicated police officer. As you heard, she started her career almost 20 years ago. She's only a couple of months shy of making that 20-year mark. She spent the last 16 years with the Nassau Bay Police Department. In a couple of Sundays, we would have celebrated her 16th anniversary with our department. I found out that her first job as a police officer was with the Lone Star Police Department. If that's not the epitome of being a police officer in the state of Texas, I don't know what is. It made me a little jealous when I found out that there was a Lone Star Police Department and she started there. She strived to excel at her job, and she did just that. Kaila was a bike patrol officer instructor, a telecommunicator, a licensed police instructor, a mental health officer, a field training officer, a crime prevention inspector, and a RAD or rape aggression defensive tactics instructor. Some of you probably didn't realize there was that much to police work. She was also a member of the Galveston County CISM, or Crisis Incident Stress Management Team, which I find a bit ironic because those are the officers and the peers that come in and work with officers like Nassau Bay when they're involved in traumatic incidents like this. She had earned her bachelor's degree in psychology, and she was working on attaining her master's degree. How special of an officer was she? She cared about the people that she served dearly. We have a mental health patient in our town that our officers deal with quite frequently. And at times, this person can become highly agitated, and those calls can turn into intense situations. Well, just yesterday, he called the department to share his sorrow for the loss of Sergeant Kaila Sullivan. And he told us that Kaila had dealt with him on numerous occasions, and she was always very patient and kind to him. And he wanted us to know that he was going to miss her, because that's the kind of officer that she was. She worked the evening night shift, and she would usually come into work shortly before I was scheduled to leave. And although it was 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon when she would arrive and come in the morning, she'd walk past my door with a simple, "Hey, Chief." And I'd look at her and say good morning, and we'd laugh. And I always knew when she was working because I could look out my window over the parking lot and see her big monster truck in the parking lot. It sits about 3.5 feet off the ground, huge monster mud truck, or mud tires. I don't know how many LED light bars she had on it. It looked like it should have been in the Monster Jam. And apparently I found out it was affectionately known as Big Nasty. Don't ask me why, I don't know, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to know. But when Big Nasty was in the parking lot, I knew it was time for me to go home. I'm not sure how I'm going to know when to go home now. But Kaila would come and sit in my office to keep me updated about the happenings on the night shift. Her soft, gentle voice was always calming. She never got wound up or excited until you got her talking about something that hit a nerve or something that she found funny. And then she would start talking so fast it was hard to keep up with her, or she would laugh so genuinely hard that it was hard to understand what she was telling you. Those were the times I would sit there and I would either laugh at her or laugh with her. And as I would leave for the evenings, I would stop in her office and check on her. I'd tell her to be safe. And she would always say, "I'm good," in that same calm voice. And I would leave. I would go home and I would rest easy because I knew that Kaila had the reins and was taking care of the department in the city. Kaila, the person, the friend, the mother. She absolutely loved Caden. And she loved the outdoors that you've already heard about. Talking with Tracy just the other day, Tracy shared with me the tent mansion that Kaila bought. And she showed me a picture. And she had this tent that she had bought. It looked like a hamster maze. It had tunnels going from room to room. And the walls were insulated. And there were cocoons to sleep in. All because she wanted to be able to go camping and take hiking trips all year long. She was extremely excited earlier this year when she took a vacation to go hiking with Caden. And if I remember right, you guys went to the mountains because that's what you wanted to do, Caden. And that's what Kaila wanted to do. She wanted to make Caden happy. So they went to the mountains. They had a wonderful time, and she came back excited and was telling me about the trip that they took. And she also told me that she was a little sore. She must be getting old. Because she had to keep up with Caden, who wanted to keep going. But she wasn't going to let you get the best of her. So she pushed on. I think they did something like 8 miles a day hiking. But that's the way she was. She wanted to be out there with Caden. She enjoyed the outdoors. And she has photos of Caden throughout the years, his school photos on the wall next to her office. And very recently, she was most proud to boast about Caden being promoted to sergeant in the ROTC. And so she adored and she loved you, Caden. Her other love was her motorcycle and her friends, her sisters, Eternal, and her motorcycle club. And she talked about them often. And I discovered another little nugget of information that she had kept a secret, which apparently she was good at keeping secrets. She was really good at. She was national president of Sisters Eternal. And earlier this year, the club took a road trip. And after that road trip, Kaila came back to work and excited again, telling us about the trip. I think they drove something like 3,000 miles through Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, and several other states. And she felt like it was a milestone trip because Twinkle Toes took her first long road trip on that trip, and they got to take her, one of the women in the club. She truly lit up and smiled and got excited when she would talk about the road trips and being with her sisters in a Sisters Eternal, just like a second family to her. And those were some of the times that she would get excited, and her calm voice would start to speed up, and she would begin to laugh out loud about their adventures. And we'll just leave it at that. She really did look forward to her time with that bike group and those women. Then there was Kaila the entertainer. I found this out this week that she was a talented guitar player and singer. One of our fellow officers sent me a video of her singing and playing guitar. I had never known she played guitar or sang. And it was rather relaxing this week to listen to her. She was so relaxed and confident while she was playing that guitar in that video. And talking to Sherry, her mom, Sherry told me that Sherry is a music teacher and started teaching Kaila at an early age to play guitar. And Kaila just took it and ran with it. She was so accomplished that she often played gigs at T-Bone Tom's, a restaurant over in Kemah on the back patio, which I never knew about. But I also found out that she rapped. I don't know, I never heard it, but I heard it was described to me as the funniest damn thing because she was good at it, not because she was bad at it. It's funny how you think you know someone, only to find out that there was so much to them that few people probably actually knew the whole person. And those who did are the lucky ones. I wish I had gotten to know Kaila Sullivan better in addition to Sergeant Sullivan. Kaila left us this last Tuesday doing exactly what she wanted to do. She was putting herself out there to make the world a safer and better place for the rest of us. Thank you, Kaila, for taking care of us and making our world brighter because you were in it. And you will be missed. Rest easy. We We got it from here.